Hello, this is Trinice Duplessis with Cooking with Love. I am so excited about this week's dish. We're going to be doing a New Orleans favorite, sauteed catfish. And this dish takes less than 30 minutes. And when we come right back, we're going to show you how to do that. Welcome back to Cooking with Love. I am so excited about this New Orleans dish that we're getting ready to prepare. Now, as you see, I have a lot of things going on here, but we're going to start off with our onion, our yellow onion that we're going to use for our sauteed catfish. Now, I'm going to cook about 3 pieces of catfish. Now, if you have a family of 4, it's up to your discretion how you want to do that. Today, I'm going to use onion, parsley, garlic, and bell pepper. But I'm going to use actually the yellow bell pepper this time. That onion smells really good. Now we're going to use 2 different parsleys. We have our curly parsley and we have our Italian parsley. As I explained before, to me the curly parsley is a little more decorative than the Italian. The Italian parsley gives our foods a little more seasoning. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this curly parsley up a little bit. And you can cut it up as fine as large as you want. I'm kind of like a medium person that loves the season to be cut up just a little so I can see it in my foods, right? So we're going to push that to the side. Now we're going to use the Italian parsley. Now I love Italian parsley just because it gives our food a great flavor. It wakes up the food a little bit. So we're going to use a little bit of that. All right, now remember we're sauteing catfish. Catfish is a really easy dish to cook, and it's not like it's a heavy red meat, so you don't need a whole lot of seasoning, but you just need enough to wake that catfish up, right? All right, so let's get it fine a little bit here. It smells so good. Something about fresh seasoning, I keep reiterating that over and over, because fresh seasoning wakes up your food opposed to powdered seasoning. Now we're going to use some powdered seasoning, but I'm going to make sure that we have that fresh seasoning in our catfish. All right. And those of you who are waiting to hear, we actually have, this is farm raised catfish. Now, if you are a fisher, I'm not a fisher, so I have to buy my fish. So if you like to fish, go ahead and catch that catfish, clean it up, do whatever you like to it, and you can use the same ingredients as you did for the farm raised catfish. All right. All right, so we got that over on the side here. Now, I'm going to use 2 different bell peppers. I have an orange one, I have a green, and I have a yellow. So let's start off with the yellow one. We're going to cut about 1/3 of this bell pepper. Okay. Oh, that's beautiful, huh? Look at that. Very healthy bell pepper, right? So we're going to cut it long ways here, just to give it a little color and a little flavor. That's what we want to do. Just a tad bit, not too much, not to overpower it, but just give it enough seasoning. So we're going to cut it up a little more finer than that. All right. Look how that looks. Looks great already, huh? All right. So we're going to push that to the side. All right. So we got our yellow bell pepper. Let's move that over. Now we're going to go to the green one. Okay. We're going to use about 1/3 of the green bell pepper. Now, you know that, as you know now, that I love to cut seasoning up. Now you can, for time reference, you can actually use a food processor to cut your seasoning up. But I like to cut my seasoning up because I like it a certain size. Now using bell pepper, again, when you're using a food processor, make sure you don't puree it, because you're not even going to see the bell pepper. It's going to be like a soup. So just do it for maybe like 10 seconds and it should chop it really, really well. All right, so that's our green bell pepper. Got a little more chopping to do with that. All right. All right. Now I got another ingredient I'm getting ready to chop up for you. Okay, so we got, let's see what we have now. So we have yellow onion, we have curly parsley, we have Italian parsley, we have yellow bell pepper, and we have the green. Now we're going to move over to, what? Garlic. Something about garlic and seafood together. I love to cook with garlic because garlic is just so potent, but at the same time, when you saute it, you won't even taste it. You will taste it, but it won't be a overbearing taste, especially when you cut it up. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that garlic up really good, really fine, as much as we can. I actually don't need all of that, so we're gonna put some of that back. All right, so put that there. Here we go. All right. This is exciting. All right. Is, you know, watching your elders and watching your mother and your grandmother and all those people cut the seasoning up, you used to kind of hate it as a kid, because at one point in time I didn't like doing all this, but I understand the science behind it. I understand the essence of it. I understand the importance of having seasoning in your food, having fresh seasoning in your food, because it does something to your food. It wakes up your food, and it's just a sort of a binding. You know, especially when you grow your own food. I actually have a garden now. I don't have any of my garden materials here, but I have used my own garden bell pepper and onions and things like that. Okay, so now we got all that together. All right, so now that we had our seasonings cut up, we're going to go ahead and put it in the pot, but we'll show you that when we come right back. We are back. Now that we've cut up all our seasoning, now we're going to put some dry seasoning on our catfish. So whatever seasons you like to use, Creole, Tony Satchel, whatever seasons you want to use, garlic salt, or whatever it is that you want to use for your catfish is up to your taste. And so I have a little bit of everything here. So I have a little garlic salt that we're going to sprinkle on here. Yeah. And we're going to do both sides a little bit. So we have some garlic and herbs here. Sprinkle that on there. Yes, indeed. It looks beautiful already, huh? So yeah, so we got the garlic and herbs going here. All right. Whatever you want to use for this beautiful piece of fish, you can use it. All right. But we're not going to overpower it with too much because we don't want it to taste salty. All right, and then I have a little dried up parsley that I'm going to use. All right, I have some dried parsley. All right, just to give it a little beautiful color. All right, looks good. Looks good already. Okay, so now we have all our dry seasonings on here. We're going to turn this back over. Looks great. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and put our olive oil and our butter in our pan so we can start getting it heated up. We got it heated up already. So we're going to put a little oil in here. Just a little bit of that in there. All right. Move it around a little bit. And then I'm going to put just a dab of butter. You hear that? All right. So as you notice, I have two pots here. We're going to saute our seasoning in another pot, but we're going to focus on this fish getting it sauteed. So now I'm going to place this beautiful pieces of catfish in the pan now. Okay. Smells good. You hear it sizzling? So I'm going to cut the fire down just a little bit. And I'm going to keep my eye on it, okay? So I have my spatula here. All right. So now I'm going to put a little bit of oil in my second pot for my seasoning, my fresh seasoning. You know that fresh seasoning is in a league of its own, right? Put a little bit of butter over here. Smells delicious. All right. I'll move that around a little bit. Butter and olive oil together. Now let's get the fresh seasoning right over here so we can get it together. So I'm still keeping my eye on my sauteed fish, all right? I'm moving it up, shake it up a little bit. Make sure, this is a good way to know that it's cooking well because it's not sticking to the pan. You have that pan really oiled well, okay? So let's get the seasoning over here. I'm gonna put that there. All right, here we go. Oh man, here we go. Oh, you hear that sizzle? Mmm. All right. So I'm going to cut it down just a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't want it to overcook. And the reason I'm doing it in two separate pots is because I don't want it to take over the fish. I want to solely concentrate on the fish getting it sauteed. Now, catfish pieces about this size. This is about maybe 3.5. It depends on what size catfish you have. These are smaller sizes, but it's going to cook about 7 minutes on each side of the fish. Okay? Smells good. So I got my sauteed seasoning over here. And we're not going to cook it too much, okay? The seasoning, because we want to taste it, but we won't have it hard. We want to have it a little soft. Fish is smelling good. So I'm still shaking it up. It's still doing well. Because when the fish is moving like this, you're on a roll. You're doing well. It's not sticking to the pan. That's why I use oil, and I also use butter to give it that flavor. Smells wonderful. So like I said before, guys, it takes about 5 to 7 minutes on each side. Now this is another way. We're not going to do it today. If you want to hurry the process along, you can saute it for 3 minutes on each side and stick it in the oven and let it cook it rest of the time, duration of the time, if you want to do it that way. But if you just want that sauteed taste on the stove, this is a quick way to do it. So I have about another 2 minutes before I can turn this over, okay? Yeah, let's check on our fresh seasoning. Still looking good. Now, some people like to use a cream sauce on the sauteed catfish. It depends on whatever sauce you want to use, but we basically just want to use seasoning today, and we're going to have a salad with our fish. But if you want to create your own cream sauces, there's many ways, many different recipes that you can try with your sauteed fish. And maybe another show I can show you how to make a cream sauce. All right. We're going to flip this over. Ooh, look how beautiful. And we'll be right back. Right, guys, we are back. Our sauteed catfish is ready to be plated up. Oh man, look at that. It's beautiful, beautiful. Came out perfect. Now I have my sauteed seasoning that I'm going to just layer it on the top a little bit. Oh guys. All right, so we're going to put our sauteed seasoning on the top. Oh, that's beautiful. And now I need to get my salads in order. So we have green lettuce, green leaf salad. It's a little bit on the side there, not too much. All right. On the side, that looks great. All right, a little bit there. And then we're gonna have some croutons put there. Really simple. Ooh, doesn't that look beautiful, guys? Simple, it doesn't take long. 30 minutes, 30-minute meal. And we have our salad dressings. Put a ranch here. Oh, it's okay, I'll use Italian. Both Italian dressings. Just a little bit on the top, and we are ready. We're ready to eat. We are here with our special guest, Pastor Warren Johnson, with New Hope Baptist Church in Gretna. And we're here to talk a little bit with you. And let me explain the meal that we have.
Okay.
So we have sauteed catfish.
It looks delicious.
And we have sauteed vegetables on the top, green onion, green bell pepper, garlic, parsley. And then we have our Caesar salad with Italian dressing. I did ask Pastor what type of dressing that you like before I put it on.
Yes, you did.
So we, I brought you on the show. We want to bless the food. Thank you, God, for this food. Thank you for nourishment, and we appreciate you, God. Thank you.
Amen.
So I brought you on the show today to talk about this amazing catering business that you started. What birthed this catering? Give our audience the name of your catering business. We're going to talk about your pastoral duties as well. So tell our audience about a little bit about your business, the name of it, and what's going on with it.
All right, great. First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity to have me on your show. Phenomenal woman you are, and
Thank
a phenomenal
you.
show. And looking at this food, phenomenal.
Thank you.
I have been led of a passion of mine for many, many years. I've always baked, but I felt the calling in April of this year to really birth this business, Pound Dat Cake LLC. And it just allows me to do what I always loved. And I think it was birthed out of this pandemic, especially during the time where so many are jobless. It gives an opportunity for some residual income.
That's right.
And so whatever you find your hands to do, you ought to do it with all your might, your strength, and always go after that gift. Always
That's
go after
right.
that passion that you enjoy in life.
That's right. So this is birthed out of the pandemic,
Yes.
which a lot of people have done some amazing things during this pandemic. It's
Yeah.
almost like a survival skill.
Yes.
Use your gifts as a survival skill. So did your mother, beautiful mother, did she teach you how to bake? Or how long have you been baking?
I would say since the age of about 15.
Wow.
Kind of off and on. I have to give kudos to my Aunt Charlene,
Okay.
my mom's sister, who used to bake for us when we would go to the country. And she would make a mean peach cobbler.
Ooh, I love peach cobbler.
And my mother's mother would bake biscuits. So I've always been fascinated with how did they create such a delicious dish. And so I would get in the kitchen and play, and just found myself
learning how to
do it myself.
Seeing the elders, and I talk
Yes.
about this often on the show. How was it tradition to sit at the table, at the
Yes.
dinner table, the breakfast table, lunch table, in your family?
Yes. Growing up, we made it a special point in our family time to spend time with the family, because it was during those times you got to find out what was going on in the lives, in our lives, what was going on in the young people's lives. And I think many people have moved away from that dynamic of really spending that family time together. Number one, within our culture, it takes both parents to work nowadays.
Yes.
And so a lot of that has kind of suffered through with our families. But I think it's important to really have that family value time.
It is. So you're a pastor.
Yeah, Lord.
Pastor Warren. So tell us about your church.
I pastor one of the greatest churches this side of heaven, the New Hope Baptist Church of Gretna, Louisiana.
Oh, Gretna, Louisiana.
Louisiana. I've actually been in ministry for 25 years.
Really?
This November, I will be celebrating my 25th year in ministry, but I've just finished celebrating my 8th year pastoral assignment at the New Hope Baptist Church. A wonderful group of people. So I'm grateful and I'm blessed.
That's a blessing. So now you have a catering business and you're pastoring. Does that go hand in hand? Does it work together, or you separate the two?
It depends, because baking, it's my passion. Ministry is my passion.
Both.
And so it's a balance between both, and you just have to find what works for you. And the time that you spend in baking, or the time that I spend in baking, I spend just as much time in studying and reading and preparing myself to deliver a message to God's people.
That's right.
So it goes
Amen.
hand in hand. It works together.
Hey, we're going to pause a little bit and let you eat some of this delicious food.
Surely.
Audience, when we come right back, we're going to dig into this beautiful cake that Pastor made. We'll be right back. All right, now we are back. What do you think, Ralph?
The proof is in the pudding. That was amazing.
Thank you,
Delicious.
thank you,
Delicious.
thank you. Now that we've gotten that out the way, it's time for you to treat us. What do we have here on this table that looks so beautiful from my view?
Well, this masterpiece, I would call it. I'm not trying to brag.
Okay. Yeah.
But this particular cake was really birthed around the movement of George Floyd. And of course, we know that all lives matter, but in particular in this season in which we live, Black lives do matter.
That's right.
I call this particular masterpiece, I call it Soul Man. And it is all of the essential colors from our race and from our culture. And so I call it the Soul Man because within this cake is embodied all of the colors that embraces our culture, who we are as a people. And each cake, when I bake this particular cake, within the cake, the colors they're different designs. So I can't wait to cut it so you can see it. You mind if I cut it?
Get it on. Let's get it. Ooh. Beautiful. Smells divine.
This particular flavor, it comes in many different flavors, but this particular flavor is a lemon, and
oh my!
Look at that.
God.
It's a lemon cake
with
the zest. I just like the colors.
I don't even want to eat it. I just want to look at it.
It speaks well.
And
the icing is a glazed lemon icing. Really, really simple to make. Everything is from scratch. And it's cooked and it's baked with love.
Oh, goodness. We are just so blessed to have you as a guest and to bless us with this beautiful cake. It certainly has been a joyous time cooking for you and serving you, and also you serving us. Tell the audience where they can contact or follow you, or with your cake business, or social media, or whatever it is that they can get in contact with you.
First of all, the name of the business is Pound That Cake LLC, and I am located on Facebook, and my username is Warren the Baker, at Warren the Baker. It's very, very easy. Just type in at Warren the Baker, and it will pull up our site on Facebook. I'm also on IG. Just type in Warren Johnson, and it'll go right to my IG page. Also, the business phone number is there, area code 504-274-8932. Contact me for your next event. I would be glad to serve you in any capacity as it relates to my baking business. Thank you so much, Trinice.
Thank you. So now we're going to dig into this cake, and we're going to see you next time with Cooking with Love. Stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in, and it's time to eat this cake.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.